what do you do to get to a point where you can be that fast in your sort of responses and asking? Because I think with any outsource, really anybody on your team, it could be even internal. I mean, I find the same thing with internal people. If you just hear silence for 24 hours while someone's figuring it out, it creates a high level of anxiety. And so how do you remove that anxiety within your team or external people you're working with to become that delightful partner where we tell our team this all the time, you don't have to have the answer, you just need to respond quickly. But I don't think we don't have anywhere close to that response time that you described. How does a company get good or an individual get good at that level? Like I can't respond right now. I'm on this call with you, so I can't respond to any messages I'm receiving. How do you get good as a company to still have fast responses?
Generally, we're good about setting expectations, right? And I've worked with people who are amazing at this. Like I'm at the rescue squad that I'm the vice president of, where I'm volunteering in T. The president is amazing at this. Every week he sends like this day, on Monday I'm going to be in the office from 9 to 4, to 12, and then I'm going to be out. This way I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be over here. Like very, very good about that. So where he's going to be when, and that sort of sets that expectation. Also, it's like when you're delegating a task, you can say, hey, I know that there's going to be some back and forth on this. Let me know if you need anything. Like, I'll be available at this time if you want to, get it done. Like, so that's why I said it's probably you. And I mean, I'm, being cheeky, obviously, but it's true. Like, there's two things that we generally do a bad job at. Everybody does a bad job at when they're delegating. One is conveying what success looks like. And I'll give a specific example about that with flight, actually. And then the other one is thinking through the resources that any reasonable person might need to complete this task. And that might sound like a heavy lift, but it's really not. If you book travel, you know that you need an ID. You know that you need a way of paying for it. And you know that you probably, depending on what the airline or the travel, whatever is, that you might need like a rewards number, right? That's not news. But every time we would have clients be like, oh, you need my credit card. Here it is. Like, oh, you need it's like, yeah, we're booking travel. We need, we're booking international travel. We need a passport. So it's not crazy. So to think through a little bit in advance and be like, if I were to do this task, I need these things. Anybody else would also need these things. I'm not going to wait for them to ask for them and sort of like set someone up for failure. That doesn't take 10 minutes to figure out. That takes 20 seconds to sort of think through. And not only that, once you think through what those resources are, now in the future, you can make those resources more available in a more easily accessible way. Like maybe you put your passport in Dashlane or 1Password, you can shut out people. But the travel example and what success looks like, right? So this particular company I was referring to, that with the 24/7 fast response. So for a couple of years, I was going to Toronto every quarter for this meeting that I would go to. And I would basically I would take like a 5:30 a.m. flight to be there by 8 o'clock. And then I would come back that night. And success for me is getting to the meeting on time, right? That's success. So 5:15 in the morning, one morning, I'm sitting at the terminal, supposed to board in like 15 minutes. I'm like half asleep, drinking a cup of coffee. And I get a text from the VA company because they booked the travel. And they said, your flight's been canceled for some engine issue, but don't worry, we booked you on this other flight. It was $100 more, but it was the only one that was available now. It'll get you there on time. Go to gate B6. And I looked at this and I'm like, okay. So I get up and I like wearily start walking away, and I got about 100 feet away from the gate, and then they made an announcement at the gate and everybody went nuts. It's like, because they're supposed to board and they didn't know what they're doing. I'm just like, okay. And I walked over to this other flight and I got on. So they knew that the $100 didn't matter. They knew that I needed to get there. That was what success looks like. And they already had the resources to do it. That's one of my greatest like outsourcing success stories ever.